Hey, the evil Dr. Cortex is up to no good yet again with a brand new henchman for you to defeat. Rated E for everyone for mild cartoon. I don't know. So, this is Andrew. You can't see him, but he's here.
Why is the camera between us and the TV?
Because I didn't think of that. Let's see. Well, I can see it just fine, so that means you can too. Anyway. So, it's been a little while. It's been a little while since we've done this. And if you're seeing the footage, if you're seeing the whole screen, then that means that was successful in capturing. If you're not seeing it, then you're seeing the footage through the I don't know. Wait, where's the remote?
Sony Computer Entertainment.
I mean, that's loud enough. that part was always so loud.
A Universal Interactive Studios production.
And then
Created and developed by Naughty Dog.
It's my favorite Crash game right here.
yeah, this is definitely the best one.
Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Like, yeah.
This was a game that really did the whole trilogy thing quite well.
Yeah.
The
Stay
idea
consistent.
of like the kind of clunky but good starting game, and the second game that refined it, and then the third game that added a bunch of power-ups to what the second game refined.
Yes.
Free at last.
My gosh, I'm free at last. I assume it's what the original voice acting cast was like.
That'd be funny.
Uka was meant to sound like that. Hey guys, I'm coming here. I'm gonna conquer some of y'all if y'all don't mind.
Oh, by the way, rip in peace to that guy. Oh, you know, real life, the guy who originally talked for Aku Aku died in 2020.
Even worse, with you, Cortex, you have failed me
Twice!
Uka Uka.
Freaking the cameras.
Bandicoot from deep inside my chest.
See, I didn't know what they said originally until.
Well, we grew up with a TV that had like one speaker.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know where our parents got that TV we had growing up, but like it didn't have like any RCA inputs. It just had one coax on the back. I half expected it to have those little fork things you could get with an old Atari when you're trying to hook one up, or
Yeah.
a Magnavox Odyssey or something.
Yeah. I think if I do this might help the camera situation. It's blurring out at some points. But if you're
This time the great Uka Uka will make sure that you do it right. After many years, my
I'm just quoting it now. I know this game by heart.
freed from his underground prison.
This is a board from the surfing levels in the second game.
Oh yeah, I used to have a toy of Crash that had that board, and those toys broke too easily.
Must be
I wish I still had one of those. They had those at Spencer's for a while. I remember seeing an entropy,
Uka Uka.
but I didn't get it.
Plan to use this
So,
And now you live in deep regret for.
yeah, nothing more great. My life has basically gone downhill since then.
I mean, sure you have a stable job, but you know what does that matter when you don't have entropy?
Yeah.
stand on a button and then
I remember when Crash Team Racing came out, they had little like remote control cars, but they were attached to cables, so they weren't really remote, they were local control cars. But the cable was like 2 feet long,
Oh yeah.
so you had to walk with it. Like, who does that? Like, make it remote or give it like a 20, 30 foot cable.
Yeah, but it's Crash Bandicoot. It's like, well, that makes up for it.
It actually works better if you just cut the cable off and use it as a giant toy.
Yeah, I think we did that eventually. We'll just, oh yeah. Let's see. And what are we calling ourselves?
And now I have a figurine of Crash Bandicoot on his motorcycle from Crash 3, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah. So what are we calling our account? Just MOPGX.
Shoe.
Oh, shoe. Yeah. Okay.
SHOEIXU. Shoe. Actually, SHEIUX.
Oh no O.
Or no. Just make it EIUX. Shoe.
Let's see. EIUX. YZ.
Shoes.
I don't know why we're doing that, but I mean, sure.
Shoex.
So if we swap sides, we'll you'll see it better. So if you
A fun challenge would be to get a third camera and record one of us trying to play out of the camera that's recording the screen.
well, first we'd need to get a second camera. So
Because that would be like recording. I'd be like playing the game on an Apple Watch.
Crash, why must you always muck in my mud? Oh look, I have a mask of me too. We will find out which one is more powerful soon enough.
it's like as much as I play the Insane trilogy or seen the cutscenes at least, I still know this by heart. By fart. What?
Are the lines not the same?
The what?
Were the lines not the same between this and the Insane Trilogy?
Well, they're spoken a little differently, or the way they said it. Wait, there we go. Chicken. I remember when we first played this, like, oh no, a hole, and it was just like it's water. I'm so used to having the double jump, but I mean, I've been recently playing more of Crash 4, or the newest Crash 4, and.
Actual Crash 4.
Yeah. Well, it does actually have 4 in the title, so.
So it's actual Crash 4.
Yeah. At some point, we probably will play Wrath of Cortex just for kicks and giggles. We don't have to fully complete it, nor are, I mean, we're not even fully completing these, so we're just getting through the main story. The story. Oh, and if you watched our previous playthroughs of these, Corey, if you've watched those and not watched like our Spyro 2 playthrough, Corey is going to be in separate types of videos, at least right now, because he needs to know his schedule for his dumb job. Well, I mean, Crash is just finding fruit all around, and, well...
Crash is also a filthy little animal thief, so, I mean, freaking marsupials. He's basically no better than a dirty kangaroo.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right, animal racism.
Now, see, we're going to be tempted to get the boxes. We're just not going to get them all.
So, I think at one time I actually managed to get the relic on this level without running.
Well, it's...
But, like, you have to be extremely intentional about it.
Yeah.
I might try that during the playthrough, because, I want to see if it's still possible.
Yeah. So it's games like this, and, well, it's games like Crash Bandicoot in general, and Sonic, that, like, made me realize I can still love a series, even if I don't love 100%ing them. If I just love just getting through the whole game, just getting through the game.
I love 107%ing this game.
Have you ever done it on the PS1 version?
No.
Well, then you didn't actually do it.
I didn't do all the relic things on the PS1 version.
You didn't actually do it.
It's very tedious, especially the underwater levels. They're extremely tedious.
Yeah. Speaking of underwater levels, here you can do the underwater level.
Under pressure.
Now remember, I know you're under pressure here, but... I know we had. Well, I remember we used to have a toy of.
We had a lot of Crash toys.
Yeah.
Freaking Crash. I'm thinking, but what's the age that you actually stopped playing with toys? I don't really remember.
What, me?
No, I mean in general. When were people supposed to stop doing that? I mean, I did. I don't really remember when, and I don't remember what the appropriate age was supposed to be.
Well, it all depends on who you ask. If you had, like, I remember in my elementary school when I was like 10, people were like, "You need to stop playing with toys," and I'm like, "No."
Bruh, elementary school.
And I know it's elementary school. It's just like, well, it's also partially because I got in trouble, but I think I heard like a teacher or something say, "You don't play with toys when you're 10 years old," or something like that. I don't remember exactly how it was said, but like,
I don't understand why your teachers were like the way they were. I had some of the same teachers, and I never had those kind of issues.
Well, maybe I was also they didn't understand the certain disabilities I had at the time. I mean, not really many people.
I don't really recall teachers being like, "You can't play with toys when you're like 10."
Well, I mean, like I
don't remember that being a conversation.
I could be exaggerating that. I don't know for sure if they said it like that, but it seems like there was some kind of like a teacher saying like, you know, you're.
Hey, you gotta pause the audio.
So anyway, we're back. Well, I mean, we were kind of back there for a moment, but if you see the capture, then you just heard the audio of the game.
Oh, that's balls.
Are you gonna kill yourself?
Yeah, I am.
Death, death, death. Okay, there is still technically a hazard left to be able to, like that. Ew. Gosh. See, I really like the new Crash 4. It's just that, good lord, what they expect you to do to like 107 or whatever % that game is too much. Like,
did you do that though?
I haven't fully completed it.
I thought you did, or at least you beat all the flashback tapes.
I couldn't get all the flashback tapes.
Really?
Well, there was two I was missing. One of them I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back to it later, and then the other one, which you have to get on Cortex Castle, which is an extremely hard level.
So you're probably just missing some Coco tapes, because I beat all the Crash tapes.
Well, yeah, I beat all the Crash tapes, and I beat some Coco tapes, but like, it's trying to. It's like getting the one on Cortex Castle. Okay, so to reach the tape, you have to get it without dying. So that's not a problem when it's like in the middle of the level or something, or you know. But when it's near the end, it's basically at the end of the level. That's a problem. And on Cortex Castle, there's a special place in hell for whoever thought that was a good idea.
I still haven't beaten. Was Slippery Climb from the first game that they added in the?
Oh, that was Stormy Ascent.
Stormy Ascent. Yeah, Slippery Climb was the one that kept.
Yeah. Yeah, Stormy Ascent was that's a tough one. I've only gotten the gem in that one. I have not even attempted the what you call it, the relic. Yeah, I haven't even attempted the relics in Crash 4 yet. Maybe one, but like that's about it. Because, like I said, I like that game fine and dandy when I'm not pressured into doing, you know, getting 100 and whatever % of it.
It's a brutal game.
Yeah. I mean, they knew what they were doing, and someone did point out a problem with that, was that, like, it seems like they were just going off the meme of, oh, Crash 1 was difficult, it was the Dark Souls of the, you know, and it's just like, yeah, but when the meme is pushed purposely into the game, I mean, this one is way harder than Crash 1. That doesn't make it better. Or let me put it this way.
I mean, I do think Crash 4 is better than Crash 1.
Well, yeah. I mean, what I'm saying, yeah, it is definitely better. What I'm saying is, whenever you, oh my gosh, one box, well, not two boxes, but like missed a box. We're not gonna try and redo it a whole lot, folks. But like when it comes to levels like this, it's like we're gonna try to attempt to get them.
I wonder if there was any particular style of dragon that they were basing these dragons on. Like, I know there are definitely Eastern dragons.
Chinese dragons?
Yeah, but like Eastern dragons in general tend to have like the long, thin bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I found that interesting. Both Eastern and Western cultures had dragons, but they had two different approaches to them, but they were still dragons.
Yeah.
So like, where did they get the idea from?
I don't know. You know, one thing about Crash 3 is if you're just trying to get through it casually, it's a relatively short game.
You can beat it in a day. When I bought this on PS1 as a kid, I beat it in one day.
Yeah.
I just didn't get all the stuff. I didn't get all the stuff till I was way older.
Yeah. I still remember that time when we were playing Spyro 1, or like, when it took us ages to get through. Hold on.
Uka, Cortex want tiny get crystals and bring them to big.
See, that doesn't really look like all that much like Tiny. It's because of his eyes.
This game definitely, like, the graphics still don't look awful to this day.
Well, yeah, they didn't try to go for like a more realistic type of approach, or well, obviously they didn't, but like.
Wait, there aren't really giant marsupials like that that aren't kangaroos?
Well, I haven't seen one, so. Yeah, some of those boxes you don't have to smash. That thing will smash it for you.
It is like two teeth.
I know. It's a beak. I don't know.
It kind of looks like one.
But I still remember when we had Spyro 1, and it took us ages to get through the entire game to figure out where all the treasure was. And like, I think there was one particular level that just took us a long time to figure out where the rest of the treasure was, and the last dragon.
Bones change color when you move away from them.
Oh,
See up there?
Yeah.
And then they lose detail because
2 out of 10. Right.
It's not Super Mario 64, 2 out of 10.
Yeah. Unlike, as a lot of people say, unlike Crash 1 and Sonic Adventure 1, like, Super Mario 64 is still fun.
Super Mario 64 is perfect because the Nintendo 64 controller, Nintendo 64 controller sucks.
Well, see, when you're
controller straight up balls.
See, when you're you go through trauma as a kid, you might get your memory all your memory gets all warped and no pun intended for this,
So I found out that I've been playing through Assassin's Creed again, the whole series.
Yeah.
I beat the first and second one. I'm playing Brotherhood, and Brotherhood will natively let you, like, I'm on Windows 10, mind you, and Brotherhood was released for like XP, 7, and Vista.
Yeah. Well,
Brotherhood natively supports Nintendo Switch controllers.
Interesting.
So I am playing now. It'll see them like they're a 360 controller.
Yeah.
So like A and stuff is swapped around.
Yeah.
But that means I'm getting to use a Switch controller on the game, and Switch controllers are like the best controllers, or the Pro controllers.
Yeah, the Pro controllers.
Switch Pro controllers are some of the best controllers I've ever used, hands down. Like, not that the Switch is even the best console. Switch Pro controllers are just made perfectly for me. They're the right size. Like the joysticks, just the right amount of proper stiffness. Yes, smooth.
Those sticks bring you joy.
Yes.
What was I trying to think of? You know, the first time I rode an elevator, it was pretty uplifting, but the second time was kind of a letdown.
Joke's on you. I only go downstairs with a staircase, not freaking elevator. So, an elevator would never let me down.
Except for the times whenever you would go down in an elevator.
I remember one time we were younger, we almost got stuck in an elevator because the power went out of the hotel we were staying at in, like, I don't know, Iowa or Kentucky or something, and a storm took the power out. I'm pretty sure some people got stuck in there. You saw, like, half the hotel just, like, congregate in the lobby.
Oh, yeah,
Looking back, I don't really know why. I don't think that would have made us any safer if there had been a tornado come through.
Oh, yeah.
I really couldn't tell you. I don't know. Any Midwesterners? Oh, my gosh.
It's just like, oh.
Any Midwesterners want to fill us in on that? Because you guys are crazy enough to deal with tornadoes.
What about, I remember this one time we were somewhere in like a Walmart.
That happened twice in like, I don't know, a year apart from each other in different cities. But it was the same situation. Power goes out, you come outside, and all the stuff sitting in front of Walmart was everywhere. Which, you know what's weird to think about? Our Walmart doesn't have that much stuff sitting out front.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's weird.
Walmarts do. Well, okay, not in our area, that's weird. Walmart's in other states, but not ours.
What's funny is that, but like, I remember on, what was it, or no, like, I remember there was one, I think you said something about was the power goes out, and then like that happens, and I did, like you were at a different table, and like that happens, and you're like, I knew it.
Where was I at?
Like it was the whole family, so we were all sitting. Me and mom and dad were at one table, and then you and our sister were at another, and I don't remember if I've ever said her name on here, so you know, but you and her were sitting at another table, and then like,
don't remember this.
well, you don't remember 2 years ago, so
I really don't.
but you're just like, I knew it. That's good. So what about that one death scene where she gets pushed? Why does it? Sometimes it almost seems like when it comes to certain vehicles and certain games and stuff, it's almost like they magnetize you towards the hazard, and like it feels like you had nothing to do. You were like out of control of it. That's almost the moment I had right there. But I will say these physics are actually kind of better than in the Insane Trilogy version of this game.
Why do you say that?
Do you not remember what it was like controlling these levels
Honestly, no.
They were like worse versions of. It was like a worse version of this, basically. Not unplayable, just when you were trying to be precise with getting a boxer and avoiding hazards and certain ones, it's like. It like I said, like the magnetized thing, almost like it just magnetized you toward the hazard, and the physics were just too wonky, or not wonky, but I don't know. There was a problem with them, basically. I don't know how to describe them, but they were the problem with them.
When did it start becoming a thing that you took a picture of your kid on the first day of the beginning of the school year? Because I don't think we ever did that.
Well, also we didn't seem to do a lot of things that other families did. You want to fight Tiny?
We didn't do other things like drink water or buy food. We just filter fed and use photosynthesis.
Yes.
And that's why I'm fat.
No, but yeah, like Tiny's eyes in gameplay are completely different than his eyes right here. And it also looks like he's wearing some weird cowboy hat, even though it's a
Roman helmet or something.
Yeah.
Here's what's really weird about this game. It was made mainly in a hallway.
Oh yeah, no, and they didn't really have much air conditioning. So they were able to accomplish one of the best games ever made.
In a hallway.
In a hallway with... And nowadays they...
Nowadays AAA titles are made in large places full of you know, feminism or something, and wokeness, and
microtransactions.
I don't know, LGBT, which stands for liquor, gun, bacon, and tits.
But in
How?
lawn. Oh, you're
Those are
running.
some skinny lions. No wonder they're so hungry. Look at them.
Look at them.
Look at them. Oh.
Well, he's a tiger. He's like, I'm the better feline, even though tiny in the face.
You know, Sylvester's the better feline.
Well, yeah, but like tiny doesn't.
Oh,
want
come on! That's straight up balls. I like how, you know, it's funny. You look at the guys in the background there,
Yeah.
and there are a bunch of 2D animations jumping up and down, but put in a 3D environment so that it kind of simulates a moving crowd, right? Like, it just wouldn't make any sense to render them in full-on 3D.
Yeah.
Games made today still do that. They're like, unless you can interact with a crowd or get a full view,
Yeah.
crowds in a distance are still, in some cases, PS4, PS5, whatever, are 2D models.
Yeah, no, I realized that when I was playing.
Like, it's, I know why. It's since they're not important and they're always at a distance, it makes sense in terms of processing power and video memory to do that. But it's just funny how we're still doing that. How we have not changed that approach.
Well,
okay,
also,
can you not spin attack these guys?
No, you can. It's just the hitbox is a little weird.
I feel like this was easier in the Insane Trilogy.
I'm still trying to get used to these physics again, though, because, like I said,
I've been playing Assassin's Creed. Oh, come on! I've been playing Assassin's Creed a bunch, so I'm used to, like, I guess just those physics. I was gonna say good physics, but there's still some, like, don't get me wrong, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood definitely had some better climbing than, say, the first game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with games over time, a majority of the time they're gonna have some better controls and physics and.
Yeah.
I mean, part of our love for this is nostalgia.
I mean,
part of it.
I would like to hand this to somebody. I mean, okay, so when did this one come out? 98? 99?
98.
I want to hand it to somebody that's 7 and see if they enjoy it.
I want to play Fortnite.
Okay, someone that hasn't been tainted by online-only
gaming,
games, yeah.
No.
Breathe!
You're not supposed to
Breathe!
You're not supposed to do that.
Hey, thanks for cheering for me, guys. I
just realized that Cortex's head follows you up there.
What?
Well, either I just realized it or I'd forgotten and I just remembered.
Oh gosh, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, well, like from a distance because his eyes are bigger now. I think they're.
Okay, stronger belly flop attack. That's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Real.
Well done, children.
Well done, children.
By beating Tiny.
And then now Grim talks for Aku Aku.
Travel area. Go back to the center of this time twister and save your progress if you wish. From there, you will see that the gate to the second time travel area is now open.
I think I'm gonna wait to save it because if anything happens to this recording, well, okay, we still have the camera, but say the camera quality is just so bad we don't want to use it, then, you know, we'll save it for like another, you know, I'll probably save it like to see if this, you know, see if this works and stuff. And hey, Dingo Dial. Dingo Dial's the name. I don't remember if it's right here. No, it's Cortex and yeah.
Why would you continue to be a thorn in our side?
What? Where was I? Tiny was a good fellow. He hated everyone and everything, but a good heart nonetheless. Please be more reasonable with my minions next time.
What about how it seems to be genetic that Cortexes have ends on their heads? Like, well, okay, yeah. It seems that way.
Giant in-shaped birthmark or something.
Yeah. Unless it's well, if you go off of like Crash Twinsanity, I think that may be from the school they went to, because like Nina has like a small N on her head. What's Madame Amberly? I don't think she's related to the Cortexes. And I think she had like a big A on her forehead. So maybe that's just like because they went to that school, they printed on you or something. I don't know. And Andrew has never really played Crash from Sanity, I don't think, so he probably has no clue who I'm talking about when I say Madame Amberly.
What the heck is a twin Sanity? What the heck is a Crash?
Why are these green things hopping? Anyway,
So I don't know if this is true. It's a funny idea. Japan made all the medals for the 2021 Tokyo Olympics out of discarded smartphones and laptops. Okay?
Alright.
Someone commented, so every award winner has a medal that was definitely once used to stream tentacle porn. Glorious. Yep.
Gosh, these graphics are good. What about Crash 1 being in Uncharted 4? And then the Crash 4 versions of those characters end up playing Uncharted 4 at one point. And then in God of War, the newest one, Kratos has a beard. Oh. Yeah, apparently the version of the music that's used in oh wait, here's what we'll do with the frog right here. Remember this?
How is it making it do that?
Yeah. It's surprising that I could handle doing that as a kid, because I was obsessed with frogs. But let's see. I remember renting this game, and that's the end of that story. Yeah, we never really bought a lot of these games. We rented a lot of them.
I actually bought this one.
Ah, shoot. All that Wumpa fruit went to waste. I like how the Honest trailer just said, like collecting apples. I think that's what they're actually supposed to be, some form of an apple, but that's just funny, just the way that... Because we're so used to calling them just Wumpa fruit.
They look like a citrus apple that you don't have to peel.
Yeah, but like, it's just by collecting apples. And then, like, they overhated on Crash 4, and it probably made a lot of people mad. And of course, it kind of feels like they're trying to get a rise out of people, but like, it kind of made me think they were gonna do something like that, because there was a bunch of people when it shows the comments at the beginning. It's like, "Are you sure you want us to talk about it?" And it's like, "Okay." And I was thinking, like, why did they hate on Crash? Why were they saying Crash was never good? But the way they said it was kind of almost like, I couldn't tell if they were joking or not, you know.
And so the Rainbow Fish gave one shimmering scale to each of his friends. Now all the fish were shiny and bright and beautiful. Unfortunately, this meant they were easily visible to predators. The Rainbow Fish had doomed them all. Natural selection is a cruel mistress.
And I made her. Let's see. What about the death animations of Crash? It's just, well, in the second and third games. Those were pretty good. I think they did that to ease up on people like getting mad about dying. But you can still get mad.
Although this neckbeards, Asians are my type, and then Asians according to them, and it's just Japan and South Korea highlighted on a world map.
So I need to plug one of these in. That one. Shoot, which one's the The camera one's plugged in. I don't understand why the battery's acting like it's gonna die. Oh, it's out. When did it fall out? Not that it's gonna matter if this is able to save, but Crash is doing his dance anyway. Anyway, oh yeah, you got next level.
Okay.
You got hang 'em high. What about how like it seems like with every game that comes out they really want to make Dingodile fat? Because in the early games he's skinny-ish.
He wasn't very skinny in this one.
Well, like not like super skinny. I'm talking like you wouldn't really see him as fat, basically. Well, in like some of the future games, they made him like in Twinsanity and stuff. They made him kind of chunky and more pig-like for some reason. But
they made him a chonker. Ah, that's balls. This frame rate on this recorder is not that great.
Oh, I know. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, I forgot. Man, the hitboxes are massive in this version. I used to be really good at this, but I used
when you get used to things,
I'd take like a half a day to get used to the physics again.
Yeah. Also, there could be a slight delay with the recording, but I don't know.
Yeah, I also think there might be one.
But it seems like there's like certain TVs that can also cause a slight delay in things. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about, but I want to keep talking. So, Barnyard, like the movie that came out before the show, Back at the Barnyard. Well, I don't really get why it got as much hate as it did, because yeah, I could definitely tell it was not going to be winning any kind of awards.
But why was Otis a male cow, or why do you have udders? He's a male cow.
You might want to get that box. Yeah.
Well, I can't get them all right now anyway, right?
I think you can in this one. Maybe. We'll chance it. Yeah, well, we'll at least need to get a lot of them to get a bunch of lives, so go ahead and die and get all the boxes. I feel like I'm better than you at these games, therefore probably better than you, like, in general. Like, I'm just a better person for it.
I can be better if I really want to put my mind to it.
But you always want to smoke those cigarettes, and that gets you high.
Way better than you at Kingdom Hearts.
Well, also, how much of Kingdom Hearts have you played, and how much have I played?
So, like, what have you had access to play, and just haven't played? That's a real question.
The fake question is, why is Andrew so wonderful at life? Oh, wait, that's fake. That's no. Yeah, see, like, the reason this game feels a little shorter than, like, Crash 2 is because Crash 2 has challenges that are too hard at times.
Like what?
Well, like, not like in levels, but, like, when you're trying to get everything, and you have to do a lot of backtracking, and, you know... See, that's the thing. I'm not sure why there was a push for backtracking in Crash when it's a fixed camera, and...
Backtracking in fixed camera games like that, especially like the narrow hallway feel.
Yeah,
that's this kind of game. That's not really like.
That's not really.
I
good.
get it. Like, there's a certain amount of backtracking. Like, I don't mind the backtracking in the future levels.
Well, yeah, but
it's difficult, like really freaking difficult. But it does feel like, I don't know. It felt just fair enough.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because you can see more. It's not like you're dealing with. Oh yeah, I like how they put that back there. You can see the gold gem.
You're
back
just
there,
like, dude.
but you can't get it.
You're just like, dude.
Not till you get
this is
8 relics or something.
Yeah.
No, 5, 10. I don't remember.
10,
You have to get
50,
10,
3.
50,
No, just
10, 50, 112.
Yeah. What about in this game? How they just added the You know that.
I like the holy sound effect more than then ping when in the second one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some people actually do kind of argue, you know, what's better, Crash... I can turn this lamp off now. What's better, Crash 2 or Crash 3? I mean, they are pretty close, but I choose 3. Although I'm not the biggest fan of trying to get everything in these motorcycle levels. I think the levels that are more automated and you know where you can't backtrack, those are ones that are kind of difficult to deal with. So I remember hearing about this thing that defends, that's trying to defend charging $60 full price for a side scroller. And for me, it has to be one heck of a side scroller with enough content to, you know, justify that. Because if it's not going to be worth it. If it doesn't have all that, and like the content's not good and stuff, it's not worth it. I mean, I'm not saying that like, oh, if a 3D game is 3D, even if it's bad, it's still worth it. But like, people trying to defend things like when they charge $60 for what do you call it? I gotta start this level over. So that's another thing. There's no natural reset button for this. Like you can't reset the level before you get to the end. And like when you lose the race, you know, you don't get the crystal, and you have to get the crystal to progress. Anyway, but like when a game costs full price, and like New Super Mario Bros. U on the Switch. Yeah, they added a few extra things along with like DLC that was originally separate from the original game on Wii U, but like it's not worth $60. It's I mean, well, first of all, it didn't, with fans at least, it didn't get the best ratings. It's like it didn't do bad. It's not technically a bad game. It's just it just felt like the same thing as the previous games. You know what I mean? So people say recently there's been people complaining that Metroid Dread is going to be $60, despite being a side scroller. That, like, in terms of the graphics, look just slightly better than what do you call it? The Samus Returns remake. This is garbage. Now it's not garbage because I want it, but anyway. Anyway. So yeah, Metroid Dread being $60. Yeah, it's gonna be worth it to some people, but like generally a side scroller is not gonna be, these days at least, is not gonna be worth full price. Now, while I don't mind paying $60 for Crash 4, I didn't mind paying it, you know.
Good day,
That game didn't just side-scrolling, though. You go forward, too.
And Cortex
Hold on.
gave me orders to bring the crystals to them during the Ice Ages. So give me the goods and shove off, or I'll roast you.
See, that was important. We had to listen to that. We wouldn't have known exactly what he said. Never played this before. Anyway.
It doesn't exist.
Phoenixes don't exist.
How could this happen to me?
Anyway, Crash 4, I can agree, like, I can sort of agree it wasn't quite worth 60. 50, probably, but like, as much as I like it, and I was willing to pay the price for it, it Crash, like, in this kind of way, has always been a side-scroller with 3D, you know, gameplay as well. Like it's.
Oh, come on!
I mean, the code name, the code name or whatever they were calling it for Crash 1 was called before they had an official name, they called it Sonic's Ass Game.
What?
You didn't know that?
No. Why?
Because they took the side scroller and turned it and made it a hallway-like thing. And because you'd be looking at the back of the character, not the front of the character, so they, you know... So, like, you know, if you turn Sonic that way, then you'll, you know... you're looking at his bottom.
I had a work training this past week.
No one
Trained
cared.
by a guy who was extremely British. Nice guy, did a good job. He's just extremely British.
Was his accent strong?
Yeah, I really wanted to ask him if his websites
Awesome.
use biscuits instead of cookies. But I just, it was a professional environment, so I couldn't muster up that level of unprofessionalism to do
I
it.
just was stray.
It was extremely tempting, though. I mean, you know, where it says you accept cookies on this website, it would just be you accept these biscuits.
You think we should?
Then I thought about my coworker who's got a cat named Biscuit. No, that's balls.
I mean, I would have done better there. So.
It's the freaking.
Well, so there was some years where I would play through this game like multiple times a year, like so I remember playing this a lot on the PSP.
Okay, how?
You hit the square button as soon as you can.
I did.
Well, you're still inferior for. I remember. I think this was the first game I purchased on the PlayStation Network on my PSP.
Mine was Medieval.
A game that we didn't know anything about until you got it.
Yeah, I don't even know how I got that PS4 ground up remaster because who the heck played Medieval?
Well, like, I mean, it's got a cult following, sure, but like, it's kind of funny
Sir
because
Daniel?
other.
What kind of faggot has the name Daniel?
Andrew, that's insensitive. I don't know. Anyway,
So legitimately, I was an adult before I realized why that had a purple gem on it.
I was thinking you were still a teenager when you like fully beat this game.
But I didn't understand the purple gem. I never knew what opened the door.
So even when you had the purple gem,
I didn't know the purple gem until it opened it.
yeah. Oh, you're just stupid. Let's see.
This game has some wrong music.
Yeah. By the way, you're not going to be able to get the gem right now, the silver gem, because you still got to get the. You have to, you know. So if you miss a box, don't like.
So I need to like press the circle button to enter the vault code.
Yes.
Well, by the way the audio sounds, press the circle button to enter the vault's code.
Yeah. Like, don't bother getting those boxes, because like, you know. Anyway.
You know what I will do though? See, now I can be like one of those people that never plays video games anymore or only plays Call of Duty and says, I used to do this for hours. Like, no, you didn't. Stop it with your absurd hyperbole.
Well, Sonic the Hedgehog, like the official Sonic YouTube channel, they've been having these videos. I think it's both a Sega and it's both a Sega and a G Fuel thing. So maybe this is more on G Fuel's part, but like, so they've been like interviewing people who have played Sonic, or aka people who kind of have played some Sonic games, but they're really popular YouTubers, so they can get more attention that way. Anyway,
I used to play Sonic 1 for hours.
But like, they did have the completionist.
I used to play Sonic 1 for hours! That's what he sounds like.
Yeah. I did think it was funny that video he was in where he's like, where they're doing, it was to promote Sonic Forces, and
ripping peas.
And like he said something about, as a large man, I don't have a disadvantage or something like that. Anyway, so he was like the first one they interviewed. It's called like Sonic Rings or something like that for some reason. I mean, I know Sonic has rings, but anyway, however that happened. So like they interviewed him, and he has talked a lot about Sonic. Not always in the most positive light, but he does actually still like some 3D games as well. He's not like one of those that just refuses to say that anything after the Genesis games are good, you know. Anyway, shoot, I'm not gonna worry about it. Anyway, whenever he, or after that one, there's this other YouTuber, I think it's called Noisy Butters or something like that, and she seems kind of cool because I followed her. I eventually started following her on YouTube and Instagram and stuff because she actually complimented Shadow the Hedgehog, like the game Shadow the Hedgehog. I thought that was cool, and I was like, you know what? She didn't say it in a negative thing. Good job there. And I was just like, because that game is definitely overhated. It has its fans, sure, but like, it's definitely overhated. Anyway, so I decided to follow her. The next one they had, something about her didn't really seem too much like she was a huge Sonic fan. She just has fond memories of going and playing a Game Gear game, and like, I don't remember, the way she said some things was just like almost scripted sounding. And maybe she is, I don't know, maybe she really is a big Sonic fan, and you know, she just gave off the impression that she was reading a script more than, you know, actually legitimately. Anyway, well, I look her up, like and her videos aren't really all that video game related, it seems like. She does streaming.
Whose?
I forgot what her name is. She does streaming and stuff. I don't know if she ever streams games for sure. She sometimes streams herself drawing, and she mentioned how... Oh yeah, you're doing Dingle Dial. Anyway.
Lay down or move out of the way. If I'm gonna do it, I'm trying to lay at an angle.
So anyway, this girl, like, I look at her Instagram, and a lot of her pictures are just a Dingle Dial coming up and saying this. Yeah, I mean, like, who does it? No, anyway, no, not that, but a lot of her pictures are just her wearing not a lot of clothing and showing off her butt.
That's how you get clicks and views and taps and, you know,
yeah, but we're talking about a video of
internet guys jerking off to her and stuff.
We're talking about an official Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. They don't usually do stuff like that. I'll ignore Rouge for now. Rouge, yeah. Sometimes it's, depending on how you do this, it can be kind of hard sometimes to fight Dingle Dial. Because sometimes it's a mystery of when he's actually going to, you might want to get out there.
Frick. Oh frick! Oh frick! I realized, oh wait, I came in a really weird part in the rotation. I don't think I've ever had that issue. I think it's never been something like that before.
Den God Isle. I don't know.
I was like the health bars, I guess, of Crash Bandicoot bosses. Yeah.
I don't know.
Health nuggets.
He has kind of a bat look to him right there. I used to think he was more bat-like. You know, like, what's the deal with, like, whenever you make cartoon animals, it's like, okay, make sure they look almost, sometimes, for some of them, it's like, make sure they look almost nothing like the animal they're supposed to be. I mean, you look at Sonic and stuff, but, like, in some of the older stuff, I never really saw Dingo. I could see, the only reason I could tell Dingo, like, the dial part was because of his tail and somewhat in his face. But You know, some people think Crash looks like a fox.
Well, those are the same people who also think that they hear
Ooga Booga
saying Ooga Booga. So.
and not Wooga. Yeah, apparently they just mumbled those words. They didn't really have a base, you know, thing to base it on or whatever. Yeah. Crystals, of course. You thrashed me, mate.
Thrashed me, mate. No worries, but you'll soon be up against much worse.
It's a penguin. Penguin A1. Penguin A2. Roses are red, violets are blue. Penguin A1, Penguin A2. What?
What are you talking about?
So, remember how in Crash Team Racing, if you use cheats and unlock Penta Penguin, and remember it would make normal penguin sounds, and then but sometimes it would go Penguin A1, and it would just have this random English accent thing, or just like or accent Penguin A1, Penguin A2. That's what they're saying is Penguin A1. It was like a fill-in for whenever they would have when they were originally going to give them a line to say, or
Well, haven't we gotten far for a pair of
Okay, so apparently,
I am Dr. Nefarious
I want to make sure this is
master
actually
of
true.
time and creator of the very time twister machine you see before you. Uka and Dr. Cortex have sent me to end this little charade, so you won't be leaving my
So
area
apparently,
with crystals. I
Wendy's first got the Vanilla Frosty in 2006.
Yeah.
I guess that's right. We didn't really go to Wendy's all that much growing up.
Yeah.
And someone has captured below it. If you're younger than the Vanilla Frosty at Wendy's, STFU. Oh my gosh. I guess I'm only like 15.
So for some reason there's this millennials versus Gen Zs thing. And most of the millennial ones are things like are just simple, funny things like the Tide Pod challenge and stuff. And then the Gen Zers take it too seriously by saying, "Well, millennials did things like Columbine," and I was like, "Wait,
Millennials didn't do Columbine. Wait. Yeah, would have been the oldest millennials.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, millennials seem to have lasted a long time." Anyway.
It was like 1982 to like 1997 or something.
Yeah. Anyway, but for some reason with Gen Zers, it's like 2000 something or around. Well, after that to 2015 is what they consider. I was like, how do you determine this stuff? Anyway, so that technically means that you're with the same generation apparently if you were born in 2000 as someone who was born in 2015 or something.
That you're what?
That if you were born in whatever the year after what's considered a millennial, the youngest millennial you're apparently a Gen Zer up until if you were born in 2015 or something like that. It's something about that, that's kind of a long, But anyway, yeah. So apparently, Gen Zers take things too seriously with that stuff, and I'm like, why are we even having this argument in the first place? We're all just a bunch of dumb kids. Even when we're 60, we're gonna be dumb kids. I don't know. I mean, we know for sure that there are a lot of dumb people in our generation. All I can say as Gen Zers is that please improve upon where we haven't, As a whole, I say we,
I like how there's a meme where people are making Spotify playlists that are just like a sentence made from song titles.
Let's see.
Or the other one, other Spotify meme is the one where, like, this is one's like songs for when I'm eating gemstones in the museum gift shop.
Shoot. No, don't peck me. Bless you.
And there are 3 songs on it. There's a song called Mouthful of Precious Stones by some band called The Red Bull. There's I Put All These Rocks in My Mouth by some band called North Cole.
Yeah.
And there's one called I Should Stop Eating Stones by Uti School.
By the way, in this session, we're going to be playing through to, what's his name? Entropy. So you're going to be doing the underwater, you're going to be doing the underwater, you're going to be doing the underwater level, you're going to be doing, this is illegal, you can't do it this way. That was kind of interesting that you were given a choice of which levels in the current level or in the current world you could do. I mean, you could also do it in Spyro, but like
You can do it in Crash 2.
you could do it in Crash 2 and 3 and in Wrath of Cortex. But like for some reason, well, okay, I understand why they have more of a straight path in Crash 4.
Yeah, that is weird. Why is there a straight path in Crash 4?
Well, also, I mean, look how many levels are in some of the worlds. There's usually only like 3 or 4. Well, if you don't include the side levels with the other characters
Or the flashback tapes.
or the flashback tapes, then like each. Well, I'm talking about each world at least. There's like. That's the way that looked. Oh yeah, I know why I did it like that. It's just funny. It's funny. Hey man, it's funny.
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny actually.
Uh-huh.
I forgot, this is the skull one, if you do it here, I have to restart the level, right?
If you die.
No,
before-
no, like, the skull one, if I do it,
You have a double dip.
I don't have to go back in the level to get the crystal.
No, I don't think you have to.
Because, like, some bonus areas in the level and some don't.
Oh yeah. Okay, well here's the thing. Here's a little thing. I think even the developers intended. If you want to get everything and also get the bonus gem, you have to. You can kill yourself after getting the gem that on the pathway. Now, if there's boxes there, that makes things complicated. Actually, I think that was more of an issue in 2. I think this one wasn't as bad of an issue when it came to that stuff.
Oh, that's balls.
Actually, that was Crash falling. That's one thing I'll give some of the newer games and also the Insane trilogies. I think they did it this way. If you completed if you go into the bonus round, that is basically a checkpoint. I forgot that it wasn't that way in the older games or the older versions of the games.
Yeah, but the older versions of the games, I do know that, like, if you keep messing up, it will it'll turn a box into a checkpoint in some cases.
Apparently, that's the case. Also, in some of these games, or at least maybe this one.
That's what I mean. In this one, that's the case.
Yeah. Which we didn't know because while we were kind of bad as kids, we weren't that bad.
I don't know. I noticed as a kid. Until I knew that.
I learned about it later on because I was too good at the game to not lose that many lives. I only knew that it would eventually get a mask and then eventually a gold mask if you kept dying. But other than that, I didn't know about later boxes becoming checkpoints. I do remember seeing the game over screen, but that was also before I started collecting more boxes to get more fruit, to get more lives, to get more through to go. Also took me a while to realize I was
Jupiter to get more stupider.
low.
So girls do. Girls are icky. Girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
Let's take that way too seriously and actually get mad about it.
Boys go to Venus to get more stupider. Girls go to Uranus to get more smarter.
Yeah. Anyway, so the swimming level, when you're in deep trouble, I don't know.
So, you pesky little rats aren't going to back off, eh? Just you continue
With my
to
marsupials.
crystals and see what I do.
What about there was like a Crash 2 E3 promo or some kind of promo where he was like speaking Australian, but like it was so weird looking because it it was that early CG and stuff, so it was just, you know. But also VeggieTales had early CG and they pull it off pretty well. And you know, that was like a lower budget, you know, probably more church funded thing. You know? VeggieTales, how they were able to pull off early
90s animation.
Yeah, pretty well. Early 90s 3D animation.
Right.
I mean, part of it was that none of them really had limbs, except for that one.
That definitely made it a lot easier.
Yeah, and
how are we clapping? I have no idea.
Meow. It's kind of funny how they tried to. Apparently, there was a person who tried to say that VeggieTales was racist in one episode, or was racist at some point, with nothing backing their claim, of course. But there was actually an episode that sort of addressed racism without like calling it that. And VeggieTales. But like it was an early episode. I remember us watching, and I didn't know it was addressing.
I don't remember that one.
I think it was the one where it was kind of a parody of Star Trek.
Oh gosh, that's very inappropriate.
Yeah.
Wasn't Junior in that one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Called up on the ship.
Yeah, and like.
Wait, who was scared of who, or who was racist against who?
Well, they were talking about people who was doing stuff differently, and you know.
Oh yeah.
And then like they were able to tie it to a Bible thing. I mean, that was a lot of the message of the show was, you know, stuff from the Bible. Let that be the point of the show. But also, it's very entertaining. Obviously more for kids, but you know. Hey, look, I'm a merry-go-round. So I remember the interview, if you remember that interview with Tom Kenny and Bill, what's his name? Voices of SpongeBob and Patrick. Where they were saying how, I think they're saying they don't have any social media. I've never seen Bill's social media, but I actually remember seeing Tom Kenny had a Twitter account or some Twitter or Instagram or something, but he only used it like, looked like he only used it like a couple of times and then that was it. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about going back there right now anyway. We're not doing a 100 and whatever % playthrough of this. We're not doing a completionist playthrough. A completionist playthrough. Here you go. Oh. So
Crash is ready. As in 14. You're going to 14, Andrew. There's a 14 there.
I forgot. I was pretty well committed in the jump when you started saying something.
Double header. Now those guys baller. Oh, you can bounce on those guys. Doesn't do it. Doesn't do anything. It's just it doesn't do anything.
I preferred how the guys looked in this one as opposed to in the same trilogy.
Okay, Sylvester. He's like, we're gonna have this open now.
See, I actually preferred how they had the freaking giant club instead of turkey leg and whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why. There were some changes where it's just like, what was the reason? I think whenever
Get rid of the bodies hanging around like that.
This was an E-rated game. Well, what about how like changes in certain games and stuff? It's like now what's like the Mega Man X games, they got away with E rating back in like the early to mid 2000s. And also in the 90s, but like mostly like when Mega Man X5 came out, that was like 2001 or something, and
I was going to talk about how Mega Man X or Mega Man Zero is so depressing.
Oh yeah, and it had an E rating, and now it has now those games have T ratings.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Like when they remember the re-released ones?
On the Switch?
Yeah, on the Switch and Xbox and PS4 and stuff.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, those are all T-rated now.
To be honest, after the PS2 or probably after PS3 generation, I just gave up looking at game ratings because I was in a couple years into the PS3 and stuff generation. I was an adult, so like game ratings didn't matter anymore.
Well, yeah. Well, here's what I'm thinking, like, because there seems to have been a change with that during the 2010s because
I don't even notice game ratings.
Because whenever Mega Man Zero Collection came out on DS, whenever it did, wasn't it like 2010 or something, or was it like 07?
I had, or maybe still have it. I don't remember.
It had an E rating, but then like when all those games are re-released on Switch and stuff, they got T ratings. Because they're cowards, that one.
So what about the Brutal Moose?
What about the box?
That bunny video?
Oh yeah.
Balls.
There was a TNT there.
I just think he's like, when he's talking about the grandma and he says, and maybe he throws them into the fire.
What was I gonna say? There was like a recent video he had where he kept playing the clip where the guy says like, "I'm a pop star."
Let's want to get back to his PC game reviews. I wasn't even a PC gamer growing up, but I still like the reviews.
Well, yeah, but like, it's because he found a whole lot of success with his food reviews.
Makes no sense. Like the first few were funny, but I just got tired of them.
Well, it seems like there's a few YouTubers that have kind of lost their love. I mean, like Brutal Moose isn't bad now. Just
I like I forgot which food review it was. It was one of his early ones where like he would eat and it showed close up on his face, and as he'd be crunching, you'd hear or see people running away in Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like that's funny.
Yeah.
That's how you keep a review funny. Or a food review.
Yeah.
What was that?
Our cat is in here. Our cat. So like, yeah. I do like how in
I'm not always as bad at this game.
Do what?
I said I am not always as bad at this game.
Well, since this is being captured and no other time it's been captured where you're good at it, then you're just lying on it.
Anyway, what was I gonna say? A member you have of Double Jump. I like the idea of what Crash Insanity was going for. It was just a very unfinished game. Like, when you really look at...
Crash Insanity, the only thing that did finish was the darn music.
I finished the music and the humor, but that was about it.
Nina, you're such a skank.
Okay, that was Crash of the Titans.
You're a skank. I'm just so proud of you right now.
That's what you have poor moms saying to their stripper daughters, what?
Okay, there is a certain delay going on here. I know I pressed square in time.
Hold on just a minute.
You know, I haven't played a game on a CRT television in at least a decade now. And I kind of want to see if the old experience still holds up. Because some people have, like, sort of buying up old CRTs.
There is a certain, like, some games really are more meant for TVs like that.
I'll probably try a Nintendo game on it.
On Nintendo?
Yeah, I want to try a Nintendo game.
I just like how on AVGN, like I mean, it's just his accent, but he sometimes they go Super Nintendo.
Who does that?
The James Rolfe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. It's a Super Nintendo.
Let's see.
Well, you've crashed a few parties before, but I never expected you to make it this far. If you don't turn back, I will inflict 1,000 years of suffering on you and the entire universe!
Okay, Mr. Krabs. That is the same guy who talks for him in this one. But then, like in Crash Team Racing, voiced by the same guy, they didn't add that, you know, deep, they didn't add the deeper voice to him, or I mean, you know, so they kind of did that for CTR Nitro Fuel as well. I guess because they were trying to have a callback to that. So by the way, we're not going to do it in this playthrough, but hit that alien sign if you play it. If you haven't played it before, hit that alien sign to get a bonus level. Anyway, if you run into it. Anyway, let's see. So, if you haven't watched Born Losers Gaming yet, you should, because they're pretty funny. Because, like, now I don't know how it's gonna be if they ever get so popular. They're gonna have over 1 million subscribers and get, you know, deals on movies and stuff. But, you know, but like, they don't seem big enough to really act like, well, shoot, we can just we know everything about politics now, you know, that kind of thing. And they usually don't know a clue. They don't have a clue what they're talking about usually, but when they get that way, or when you know, YouTubers and I mean, like, most YouTubers. So that's why sometimes I dread doing. This is why I dread doing, like, things like time trials. Is like when you fail and you have to start all over like that. When you have to start all over and it blocks progression, I hate stuff like that. Because while the level's really not as long as it feels like a long time. Because, like, you know, there's certain other types of levels where it's like, okay, you know, you just get through this, you're done. Or if you mess up, you can backtrack. Backtracking's not the biggest deal in the world. But when it comes to time trials and things like that, it's, you know, I wasn't doing a time trial, I was just stating a fact. that anyone who says otherwise is actually false. But been a little more critical of games lately. I think it's because I'm just growing up and realizing things and knowing more how the world works. Yay! Okay then. I don't even remember hitting that box, but alright. So what's your word on that, Andrew? Huh? Oh. It's like that part of that pitch of the music that just got really high. You know, there were some levels that I never really paid attention to the fact that they were time traveling. Like, for some reason that concept never really hit me. I mean, like, I knew there was, like, they went to dinosaur levels and stuff, but, like, I never really paid attention to the fact that this takes place in, like, the 50s and stuff. Well, also, I was a kid who didn't know much about the world, so, you know, at the time. But I still should have known. I was insensitive to not know. But like, I never paid attention to the fact that this wasn't modern day, you know, where they were at modern day desert. This was 50s desert, wherever this is supposed to take place.
With diners that have ginormous potholes at the info.
Yeah. Apparently, I only missed a few boxes. Unless I said 30, unless it said 35, I only missed like a couple of boxes. All right, we're finishing off this playthrough with the fight of well, yeah, the session of entropy, which in one universe apparently is a female, and then so what do you call the relationship between the female one and the male one?
Incest.
Little vermin are way too stupid to understand what you're getting yourselves into. This time, you've done it.
Or like on Robot Chicken, when the guy was making out with a clone of himself, he says, "It's not gay, it's masturbation," or something like that. So I guess it's some weird, you know, masturbation.
You little skunk! Give me the crystals!
So this game is rated E. Do what?
So the Mexican Bandicoot. You said skunk, and I said Mexican Bandicoot.
Oh yeah.
I miss the old Crash Bandicoot commercials, man. Those were great.
With the guy in the crash suit. You know what? You know what?
Especially the Pizza Hut ones.
Yeah. You know what should have been
What?
the last character to unlock in or to have in Crash Team Racing.
What?
In Nitro Fuel. Like they should have added the guy who was in the crash suit as a character. He like.
I mean, but how would they really make it look all that different from?
Well, he'd be a bit bigger to start with.
That's what you could see the guy's face though, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, then yeah, then you could have done it.
Yeah.
That would be great. You can use Oxide to do one, can't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and if you had pre-ordered the game, you got a code to unlock them early. Yeah, as well as Crunch and like a Crunch costume thing. See, that was one of the good.
Sorry, it had to be British costume.
Costume. See, that was one of the good things that came out of Crash Breath of Cortex.
What?
Was Crunch.
Costume.
Of course, you know, in the original games, like that one in like Nitro Kart, he was just, you know, he was just a tough guy, and then they eventually essentially made him Mr. T.
It took a little while until I realized what the poles are here in this one, and it's because he's like going through time and some of the different controller delay. Yeah, I'm blaming the controllers. Screw you.
So basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that you suck because I haven't died on him in a long time.
Yeah, if only I was actually trying. If I was really trying, this would be an issue.
You have sweat all over the controller. See, look, they're giving sympathy. They're like pitying you because they gave you a straight line there.
You always get a straight line on the first one.
I didn't always see it that way. In this current playthrough, I didn't see it that way. Anyway,
I didn't think it was ever randomized.
it's sort of randomized, but it's not like there's not like a whole lot of options. See, like this is different from the previous one that you've done.
I guess it is. I never noticed.
Yeah, I remember this was like the first time you see that death animation where it's like, and then like he just like explodes into pieces like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that's intense. And then like in the future levels, that can happen to you.
What?
Yeah.
My time is up. But yours soon will be.
It's weird how it gets like that cartoon hand that pops out of it.
I know. Well, it looks like, I think that might be the clock though. Like the
no, but I mean, it looks like a Mickey Mouse.
I know.
Cartoon hand.
That's what we thought too. That's what I thought too. I mean.
Fighter Entropy, you have placed us all in grave risk. Crash, Coco, you must realize that this time twister machine is very delicate. Without Dr. Entropy's constant care and control, who knows what it will do?
See, I never really paid attention to that. I was like, I never really thought of it as like being in peril of like, oh no, the creator is gone now, so he can't control this thing. Or, you know, it could become unstable. And it's just like, well, it's just kind of the same thing right now. Anyway, so we're going to end it right here. And I'm not going to save it just yet, just in case. But thanks for watching this playthrough. And next time we will probably finish the game, unless we have to cut it short for some reason. So anyway, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And just remember what Andrew tells you. So that's a good message to go off of.
Okay, so my message is C's get degrees,